In the previous videos, we quantized all 64 of I Ching's hexagrams and then put them along the auspiciousness axis like such, and then we subsequently discussed what are the most auspicious hexagrams and what are the hexagrams with most misfortune. So today in this video, we're going to do the same thing for all 384 lines in I Ching. That's 64 hexagrams, each one with 6 lines. So there are a total of 384 lines. So let's see what they look like. Once we put them on the distribution chart like this, we find out 207 of the lines are leaning auspicious because their average value is larger than 0. And 177 of them are leaning misfortune because their average value is below 0. For this particular distribution, you can see the average value is 0.31, which is slightly positive. And that's the same observation we made on the hexagram distribution, where 32 are auspicious, 32 are misfortune, but the average value is slightly leaning toward auspiciousness. Okay, so for this particular distribution, we can also calculate the standard deviation of 3.537. So let's look at what are the lines that's at the most auspicious end and what are the most unfortunate lines. For lines with highest auspiciousness average, we have listed the top 6 or so. And let's look at the first one, 26, hexagram 26. Garnering moral strength or advance mankind, line 4. The relative score here is 9.9. So subject starts to reap some rewards from all previous efforts. A maverick's harmful horns are tied with a constraining stick to prevent unintended injuries. With youthful strength under control, efforts should lead to an auspicious new era. Well, from the text interpretation, it certainly sounds pretty good. And if we look at the chart, it hang around the red line, hang around the auspicious area pretty much all the time. That's why its average is around the line of 10. So you can see the average value to be 9.9. You will feel, everything's working out very well all around. So feeling auspicious. And similar behavior to the lesser extents are hexagram number 8, line 4, number 26, line 3, number 42, line 1, 42, line 5, and 24, line 1. Notice 26 hexagram and the hexagram 42 occupy several spots on this top list. And if you remember, they are also our 2 most auspicious hexagrams. So that's not surprising. So let's look at the line with the lowest auspiciousness averages. The top one is hexagram 14, handling and retaining wealth. This particular line has the lowest auspiciousness average, but it's very interesting. It's not like you are poor and desperate and things like that. No, it's actually a situation where, with stable wealth, subject is tempted to indulge in a status symbol or personal enjoyment that are reserved for the highest king. Scoundrels cannot resist such temptation, and don't be misled by scoundrels nearby. So it's describing a situation where you are falling off the higher places and you are overindulging yourself with spending that really probably shouldn't spend. So that's very interesting. So it's not a desperate hexagram or desperate line. It's actually you are just overindulgence. Okay, so what are the other ones with the lower averages? They are hexagram 23, line 2, hexagram 60, line 6, 32, line 6, hexagram 24, line 6. But before we end, we have to look, there's another aspect of the ranking that we just did. When we say we're hanging around the most auspicious area, yeah, that's that's very similar to the result we got from the most auspicious hexagram. But there's another experience that if you're in that line, the auspiciousness is rising the fastest. So you have the most smooth sailing feel during that line. So let's look at what they are. If we rank by that, that means we're ranking by their final value here, not the average value, but final value of this red line. So what are some of the highest one? They are, the top one is actually following the leader in the organization, number 17, line 5. And the text says, subject is now the top leader. People follows and respect subjects' honesty and integrity, thus auspicious. This is because you are already at the leadership position. You have the power. You have the resources. Of course, anything you want to do is more or less smooth sailing. And if you look at the hexagram inside, by the time you reach the leadership position, you are already practicing maximum righteousness. So you will experience a fast rising in auspiciousness. So other similarly ranked lines are 24 line 1, 26 line 3, 42 line 1, 22 line 3. Notice they are similar to the one with the highest auspiciousness averages. We see the 42 1 here. We see the 24 1 there, but they are slightly different. So auspiciousness could be defined as your average auspiciousness score, or in this case, how fast the auspiciousness is rising.